All right, welcome back. Last time we dove into all the spooky legends and ghost stories of the Devil's Sea. But today we go beneath the surface, literally, to find out what's really going on.
The real key to understanding everything that happens on those waves, well, it's not on the surface at all. It's deep in the abyss. The answers aren't up in the sky or in some paranormal fog. They're on the ocean floor, a full 11 kilometers straight down. So let's start the descent. But before we go down, you gotta get some perspective on this. This is kind of mind-blowing. We have a complete 100% detailed map of the surface of Mars, another planet. Yet, right here on our own world, more than 75% of our ocean floor is a total mystery. We've seen less of our own planet than we have of the red planet. And the waters under the Devil's Sea, some of the least explored of all.
Okay, so let's begin that descent. We're leaving the world we know behind. We're entering a truly alien environment right underneath the Devil's Sea.
Up here at the surface, yeah, that's where all the legends live. But drop just 200 meters and you're in the twilight zone. The sunlight starts to fade, the pressure starts to build. 1,000 meters down, it's permanent, crushing darkness. From here on out, there's no light. At 4,000 meters, we hit the abyssal plain. It's like a vast, cold, empty desert. And then we reach the very bottom, almost 11,000 meters down, the Mariana Trench, the deepest point on planet Earth. Just to help you wrap your head around that scale, you could take Mount Everest, the tallest mountain on the planet, and drop it into this trench, and its peak would still be buried under 2 full kilometers of water. I mean, just let that sink in. That is the insane depth we are talking about here.
And don't picture the ocean floor here as some calm, quiet place. No way. It's a geological war zone. You've got tectonic plates constantly grinding and smashing against each other, creating unimaginable pressure and heat, all happening right under the ships that are just trying to pass by overhead.
So, how does all this violent geology explain the mysteries? Well, this is where the spooky legends of the sea crush right into the hard laws of physics. Let's look at the science. So, our first major clue is this stuff called methane hydrate. The easiest way to think about it is like flammable ice. The seafloor here is absolutely packed with massive deposits of it, formed by the insane pressure and the cold. And it's totally stable until something changes. And this is the chain reaction. An undersea volcano heats up the seafloor, which basically melts that frozen methane. A massive bubble of gas erupts, and in that spot, the water's density just plummets. It becomes like fizzy water. Any ship floating on top of it instantly loses all its buoyancy. It just drops like a rock. It sinks in seconds. No time for a distress call, no time to launch lifeboats, and it leaves absolutely no trace.
And get this, it's not just about the sinking. That enormous plume of methane gas doesn't stop at the surface. It hits the atmosphere and can create all sorts of sudden, bizarre weather. We're talking thick, instantaneous fog, localized squalls, strange atmospheric conditions that would absolutely disorient a crew. So one single event explains multiple mysteries.
Okay, what about the spinning compasses and the failing electronics? Well, that also has a geological explanation. The answer isn't supernatural. It's literally in the rocks. You see, the volcanic seafloor here is super rich in a naturally magnetic mineral called magnetite. So with hundreds of these undersea volcanoes all creating their own little magnetic fields, a ship's compass just gets totally confused. It might lock onto the magnetism of a giant undersea mountain instead of pointing to the Earth's true north. A navigator, having no idea, could sail their ship in the wrong direction for hours and hours, becoming completely and hopelessly lost in the middle of the Pacific.
And finally, there's the weather. The Devil's Sea is nothing short of a meteorological battleground. You have these huge, powerful weather systems all colliding from 4 different directions. It's a total pressure cooker where a perfectly calm, beautiful day can turn into an absolute nightmare with terrifying speed. And the key here is the speed. A storm can explode from a little tropical depression into a monster Category 4 typhoon in just a day and a half. For any ship before we had modern weather satellites, that is just not enough time to get out of the way. You'd be caught completely, totally by surprise.
So there you have it. Methane blowouts, magnetic anomalies from volcanoes, a weather pressure cooker. Case closed, right? The science explains it all. Well, not quite. Because this is where the story takes a really sharp and very mysterious turn. So, in 2017, a research expedition was out there mapping these exact magnetic zones. And sure enough, they found them all around the volcanoes, just like the science predicted. But then, they found something else. A powerful, distinct magnetic field where there was no volcano, no known geological feature, absolutely nothing to explain why it was there. Science can easily explain the anomalies tied to volcanoes. That's the column on the left. But it has no current explanation for that powerful mystery anomaly on the right. Officially, the scientists say they're still working on it, which, let's be honest, is usually code for, we have absolutely no idea what this is. And that one single baffling piece of scientific data, well, it opens the door to something else entirely. Because it turns out governments have been documenting very strange things in the Devil's Sea for decades, things that geology and weather simply cannot explain. Between 1973 and 1995, Japan's Maritime Self-Defense Force logged 23 separate incidents that they officially classified as unexplained phenomena. Now, these aren't just old sailors' stories. These are official military reports from trained observers using advanced equipment. Let's just look at 3 of them. OK. Incident 7 from 1976. A military patrol vessel tracks an object on radar underwater. Now, the fastest nuclear submarines in the world then and now, they top out at around 40 knots. The object they tracked was moving at 300 knots. That's over 7 times faster than our most advanced submarine technology is capable of. Or how about Incident 14? The official military report describes, and I'm quoting here, a column of light rising from the ocean surface to the cloud base, maintained for approximately 4 minutes. Can you imagine seeing that? A pillar of pure light just erupting from the sea. The official conclusion? No atmospheric explanation found. And then there's this one. In 1988, some deep-sea survey equipment was pulled up from 3,000 meters down with massive impact damage. The report said it was as if it had collided with something huge and solid. But according to their own detailed charts of the ocean floor, there was nothing there. No seamounts, no rock formations, just empty water. An impact in the middle of nowhere. So this is where we're left. Science gives us these incredible tools to understand this place, the gas, the rocks, the storms. We can explain a lot. But science has also uncovered questions it just can't answer. Data that doesn't fit any of the models we have. And that leaves us with the ultimate question, doesn't it? Is the real danger in the Devil's Sea the things we can explain, or is it something else entirely, lurking down in that 75% of the abyss that we still have yet to explore? Let me know what you think and join me next time as we wrap up our investigation.